Our topic for today is types of the verbs or types of verbs. Of course, we do all know that verbs are words that express an action or state of being. So in Filipino, it is pandiwa. So there are three types of verbs. So do not be confused on the types of the verbs. We have action verbs, linking verbs, and helping verbs. So at latter part of our discussion, we're going to find out the differences of these three types. So let's have first with the action verb. Of course, action by from the word itself, action, doing an act, 'di ba? So kilos or garaw. So action verbs are words that express action. Example, give, eat, walk, swim, etc., dance, and so on. Then, or possession or ownership like have or own. Action verbs can be either transitive or intransitive. So what would be the rule in identifying the transitive verbs? First is it has a noun that receives the action of the verb. Okay. So for you to find out the transitive verbs or para malaman nyo ang transitive verbs, of course, dapat ma-identify nyo yung noun, the receivers of the action. Do not be confused that hindi porket na-mention dito yung noun, it is already the subject. Ha, iba pa yon. Pag sinabing noun that receives the action, it means nasa complement siya. Of course, it's called direct object. Example is, Lorisa raises her hand. Of course, the subject here is Lorisa. So, it's not yet the noun that mentioned at the definition na hindi ito yung sinasabi sa definition na noun that receives the action. Lorisa is the subject. The verb is rises. So, how are you going to find out or identify whether it is a transitive verb or intransitive verb? Of course, by identifying the direct object. How are you going to identify the direct object? By answering the question, what or to whom? Okay, what or to whom? Lorisa rises what? The answer is her hand. So it means it is the direct object. So since we have direct object identified in this sentence, it is transitive verb. So the word rises here is transitive verb. Okay? So do not be confused on that. Okay. Transitive verbs sometimes have indirect object. Ayan. So, para ma-identify naman ang what they call this direct object, of course, you have to answer the question, what? Lorisa raises what? Her hand. So, how we're going to identify indirect object? By answering the question, to whom or for whom. It means it is also a noun at the complement or after the verb. Example, the sentence is, Abdus gave Becky the pencil. What is the subject? Of course, Abdus. What is the verb? Gave. Gave. So, Becky the pencil. What is the direct object here? Direct object here is, so Abdus gave what to Becky? The answer is pencil. So, the pencil or yung pencil would be the direct object. So, how are we going to identify indirect object? The answer, to whom? Abdus gave the pencil to whom? Becky. So Becky is the indirect object. Ha. Abdus is the subject. Gave is the verb. Becky is indirect object. And pencil is the direct object. Okay. How about intransitive verbs? So intransitive verbs naman, kapag merong direct object at indirect object, of course, automatic it is transitive verb. Kapag naman wala, of course, it is intransitive verbs. So what will be the clue? Usually, intransitive verb may be followed by an adverb, adverb, or adverbial phrase. So there's no object to receive its action. Automatic, may clue na yan. Kapag daw sinusundan siya or followed by the adverb or the adverbial phrase. Example, Lorisa rises slowly from her seat. Lorissa rises slowly from her seat. Of course, the subject is Lorissa. The verb is rises. Then slowly, what part of speech do you consider the word slowly? It is adverb. It is adverbial phrase. Slowly from her seat. So it means it is intransitive verb. Okay? Next. How are you going to identify intransitive or intransitive verbs? So through these examples, first one is Dustin will lay down his book. What is the subject? Dustin will lay down, of course, it is verb. His book, it is the complement. It is, so how are we going to identify whether it is transitive or intransitive verb? By answering the question, what, to identify the direct object, and to whom, to identify its indirect object. Example, Dustin will lay down what? Alin daw yung kanyang binaba o ibababa, will lay. Of course, his book. It means book is the direct object. So it means will lay down is the transitive verb. Okay, ha? Next, his book will lie there all day. His book will lie there all day. So what is the verb? Sorry, what's the subject? His book. This time, his book naman yung subject. What is the verb? Will lie. And how about the complement? There all day. Okay. So answering the question, what or to whom? His book will lie what? Wala naman dito sa statement. So his book will lie to whom? Wala rin naman sa statement. So it means it is intransitive verb. Okay? That's the difference between intransitive or intransitive verb. Okay, next is linking verb. I think it is the easiest type of the verb kasi very basic. So linking verbs connect the subject of the sentence to a noun or adjective. Ayan, yan na yung clue. Kapag ang complement daw ay noun or adjective, so automatically linking verb ang usually ginagamit. So that renames or describes the subject. The noun or adjective is called subject complement. Okay, example. Jason became a business major. Yan. Jason, what is the subject? Jason. What is the verb? Became. And what is the complement? A business major. A business major, what part of speech? It is noun. So it means, yung became dito ay linking verb. Dinidescribe lang naman niya si Jason. Sino ba ang business major dito? Si Jason. So it means became, it is a linking verb. Okay, next. Lisa is in love with Jason. Lisa is in love with Jason. Of course, yan ang usual or common na linking verb. Is, are, was, were. And Lisa is the subject. Linking verb is in love with Jason. Subject complement, of course. Who is in love with Jason? Lisa. Dinidescribe lang niya. Okay, the most common linking verb is the verb to be in all of its forms like am, are, is, was, or were. The verb will also be used helping verb in the next session. To become and to seem always a linking verb. Kapag itong mga to ay nag-iisa lamang in the sentence, it is linking verb. Pero kapag ito ay kasama na ng action verb, magiging helping verb siya. So other verbs may be linking verb in some cases or action in others. To appear, to continue, to feel, to grow, to look, to prove, to remain, to sound, to stay, to smell, to taste, and to turn. Libby appeared happy. Kasi ang complement niya ay adjective that describe naman kay Libby. Kaya appeared would be what? Linking verb. Okay. Dion suddenly appeared. Yan, magkaiba naman to ha. Dion suddenly appeared. Appeared is intransitive verb. Kasi, bakit? Sino ba ang nag-appear? Sino ang gumawa ng action? Si Dion. Magkaiba yun ha. Libby appeared happy kasi may complement na adjective. Since ito ay wala, intransitive verb siya, wala rin siyang direct object at saka indirect object. Though, sino bang gumawa ng action? Si Dion, siya ang lumitaw, appeared. Ang talang kay Libby dito, yung ang dinidescribe na nag-appear dito is yung happiness sa kanya. Okay, next, helping verbs. Helping verbs are used before action or linking verbs to convey additional information regarding aspects of possibility, can, could, etc., or time, was, did, has, etc. The main verb with its accompanying helping verb is called verb phrase. Yan. Verb phrase, ibig sabihin, magkatambal dalawa. Linking verb or helping verb and then action verb. Okay. Example. Teju is going to Florida. Teju is going to Florida. What is the helping verb or auxiliary verb in other term? Helping verb is auxiliary verb. Is going. Progressive to, di ba? Going ing to Florida. So the action verb or the main verb is going. The helping verb is Florida. To Florida is adverb of place. Then the trip might be dangerous. The trip might be dangerous. Okay, so the helping verb is might. The main verb is be. Okay, it's true. The following words called modals always function as helping verb. Yan, modals. Meron tayong kinoconsider na modals. Examples, can, could, may, might, must, ought to, shall, should, will, and would. Tanya could learn. So base form of the verb ha, if you're going to use modal, base form of the verb. Tanya could learn to fly helicopters. Janine will drive to Ohio tomorrow. Okay. In addition, the following forms of the verbs to be, to do, and to have sometimes serve as helping verbs. In other cases, they may serve as action or linking verb. Am, are, be, been, being, did, do, does, had, has, have, is, was, were. Okay, Jana is moving a new house. Linking verb, Jana is ready to go. Magkaiba yun ha. So helping verb is and moving action word ends with ing progressive form to a new house. Then is linking verb lang siya. Another is Dustin did eat. If we're going to use this, did eat based from the verb pa rin, his vegetables. Dustin did his homework last night.